Hello, this is Robert Morales, and this is UnEdited. Robert Morales, RCU Network, coming at you live here on a Thursday evening. It's well after 5 o'clock, but that's kind of what we do and who we are here at RCU Network. We plan things, but we never really stick to a plan, if that makes sense. So we're here live on a Thursday talking to entrepreneurs and business owners about their business and the things they got going on in their life. But we like to know about those little secrets sometimes, if they want to share. I am here with my co-host, Miss Gaby Chayardez here. And we do have a special guest today, Miss Gaby. Please welcome Miss Gaby Lopez from SONAZ. I'm going to get that right one time. So we're here we're here every Thursday on Thursday afternoons, evenings, whatever time it is, to talk to entrepreneurs about their business. Oh, look, Miss Ella interpreting herself is online right now. Hello, Miss Annabella. But if you like what you're seeing and you want to make comments or questions about anything we got going on or anything we're talking about, go ahead and put those in the comment section below. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that like button because you like what you see and you want to see us every week. And you want to support us by doing what we do. It's what we do every week. And hit that subscribe button. You look gorge, she says. I will say so, yes. So we do have a special guest, Ms. Chayardez. And who is that you brought to the studio today?
Well, I brought a wonderful person that I truly think I admire her work, and she has a beautiful style of creating magazines. So I'm Gaby 1, and she like to call herself Gaby 2, so I'm gonna let Gaby 2.
Oh God, why are you so nervous, man? You gotta get over the nerves. Hello, Miss Gaby.
Hi, Robert. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, Gaby. I'm very blessed to be here.
We're getting people out of their shells.
So we're calling Gaby point 1, and I'm Gaby point 2. In case you wanted to mention on the comments, you can.
One is Gaby B, one is Gaby double B.
Yes.
That is in their names. That is in their names, not in anything else for the perverted mind.
That's the first thing that she told me. I'm Gaby with double B. Oh, okay. She wanted to do two?
She's Gaby with 1 B, I'm Gaby double B. So.
Yes.
That's name size. Right?
Yeah, if she wanted to do two.
Gaby and Gabby.
I'm just Robert with one R.
I'm 2.0. It's fine for me.
Well, we're not here to talk about names, though. We're here to talk about business. This is what this whole show is about.
Thank you,
sort
Robert.
of, a little bit. But you do own a magazine, right?
I own a magazine, SONAZ magazine, which is Sonora, Arizona. It's I'm very happy or blessed to create these amazing magazine.
Yeah.
It's structured by business or people who's been doing something on the community between the two cities, Nogales or Sonora and Arizona. That's why it's SONAZ magazine.
Oh. So I guess what was the thing that got you into doing a magazine? What was it? I guess what was a brainchild? What really got you going on?
You know what, Robert? It came to me. I started with this idea like 5 years ago. I have 3 years with the magazine.
Yep.
And you can find it on Instagram and Facebook. If you wanted to like the page, I will more than happy to see you there too.
Accepted invite for SONAZ?
Accepted the invites. So I never thought ever in my life that I'm going to end up doing a magazine. And you know what? I love it. I love what I do.
How long have you been at it now?
3 years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
3 years. But it took me 2 years to lend it, just to come out with these different ideas.
Yeah.
So I was working in Tucson. I born in Nogales, Arizona. And I moved to Tucson after my kids grew up and they moved out of the house. So I end up living in Tucson. I work for a newspaper there.
Yeah.
As a PR and sales and a lot of stuff. So
Are you nervous by the chance?
No. So I'm very excited. I think she's talking about my magazine.
Yeah, I think she's just remembering the steps by steps that she had to take just to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took me 2 years to realize that I really love to do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, when we started our magazine about 3 years ago when we were under a different name. And the part I enjoyed the most was to really share those stories. And the magazine that I put together, it was very small. It was more like a leaflet that went out during our events. It was more to share people's stories. Is that kind of the same aspect and same things you have with SONAZ?
I think so, but it's more like advertisement with stories. And when you're advertising your story too, like people engage. What it's different about my magazine, it's the simplicity, how to explain the story of these successful people, and the images. That's what I like about my work.
So Gabby, can you explain a little bit more what I know you said you have about 5 years of with this you got with the idea from 5 years ago, and then you've only been doing this for 3 years in a row. But what made you or triggered you to say I want to do magazines? How did that idea actually came up?
I don't know, Gabby. You asked me this question
Those are so hard.
before.
Those are hard questions.
It's not so hard. I'm not editor. I'm not.
You're the owner, so
I'm the owner.
Yeah.
So.
But you control the narrative, right? You control the idea and the direction the magazine's going, just like any other business
I'm
owner.
directing every single thing that you see. I am behind everything. Design, the stories, pictures, the photo shoot sections. I'm involved with every single thing. So I really love what I'm doing. I think I'm more like creative person, and I love when I see people that they like our vision, how to explain it to people, how to put it on a magazine and a paper.
Do you think people take for granted the amount of work it takes for a magazine? Because I will tell you, doing some of the video work, it takes a tremendous amount of a number of hours. Sitting down with a client, going over kind of the emotions and the things they want to do with the video. Then you actually get into production, which means you think about the lighting and where locations and does it highlight the person in the right direction. And then when you get to post edit, it's like, can we compile all that together? Can we take the vision and make it a reality? And then on top of it, are they going to like it? So there's so many components I think people miss out, even in a magazine, because those are the same things I did, I faced with the magazine too. Is that similar to what?
Yeah, it's very similar. And since first time I sit down with my customer, we start building this idea. Yeah. And I have people working for me. So I have a staff working for these ideas, and we put everything together in one piece, and we end up doing what we're doing right now, right? So that's the main thing here. What I like about SONAZ, I am behind of every single thing. Yeah. And I think people like it, Robert. I don't know you,
it's
Gaby.
Beautiful. It's beautiful work. If you can actually share with our audience a little bit of
the Facebook page.
The Facebook page.
We're going to the Facebook page. So hang on one second there, folks. We got SONAZ magazine. Look, I think this was the last edition you did, the cover, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to go and you can see it on the screen there
Summer
too.
edition.
The summer edition. So is it an annual, biannual, semi-annual?
It's
quarterly.
No, it's sessional. So I start my monthly. Yeah. Next month, September. Monthly issues. I'm gonna start September, then October. We're gonna go from there. But because of COVID, I start doing it. Sessional. And you know what, Robert? I never thought that I'm gonna be doing this magazine or any magazine at all.
I think that's the heart of any entrepreneur, right? Is that you start off with an idea what you want to do and it ends up being something completely different.
Yeah. And I've been struggle a lot. Actually, I've been struggle with my idea to my market. It's Latino market. So Latino market, I used to have different styles. Yeah. So it's hard for me to take them different stories, different perspective. Yeah. So they're like some a lot of people are questioning me why it's so fancy. Well, this is not for me. So it's for everyone, I think. But you have to engage with the story of the covers, the story what we're talking inside, and the advertisement. It's so different. So people, that's my struggle. That's the most thing that I've been doing, like to engage with people. What it's SONAZ about.
I think the most beautiful thing it's about when people actually don't expect that their story it's gonna reflect so beautiful at the end, and I think that's what makes SONAZ so special, because to see their story on paper and with so many beautiful images that some images are just like mind-blowing. They're so beautiful, you know.
I think the idea of a magazine too is to validate success, right? I mean, to put that portrayal, you take an image to put it somewhere, to portray to somebody else to see, and when they see a business in a magazine, it kind of validates that business, the struggle, the challenges, and that exemplifies the success of that. Is that kind of? I mean, that's when we started our magazine, I wanted to do the same thing, to highlight, you know, those particular people that had, you know, faced challenges, and we highlighted the successes. You know, so I think the magazine in itself is that culmination of that, those struggles, and like, hey, I made it. I'm on paper.
I'm on paper right
and
now.
Everybody can see it.
Yeah, I think it's people like to see themselves in a paper or in a vision, like I'm doing this for my family or my people, for the community, and I think it's right. But at the end of the day, Robert, what my vision is to touch other people's life.
Yeah.
That's what it's SONAZ about. It's like, if I just touch one people in that 12,000 copies that I doing it right now, it's a blessing for me. You know, if you're gonna touch that person and they're gonna change their lives, that's a blessing for me.
No,
I'm doing something good.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I did see Miss Doña Meli say hello. She says hi on there. SONAZ Ramona, saludos a todos. Wow, Gabriel Lopez. I got a wow. I can whip out the Spanish a little bit too. But that actually brings me to the next question regarding, you know, because it's a mixed language magazine. It's got not only English but Spanish in there.
Yeah.
Do you find that's a benefit or a challenge when it comes to?
It's a big challenge, actually. Yeah. Nobody asked me before about that challenge, and it's a very, very big challenge, because you have to find the right team for you to translate every single word in a good way. You know, Spanish and English. Sometimes we have to like parking. Go to park or parqueate. Go and park yourself, or go park your car. And in Spanish we say parqueate. So it's not the same. You know what I mean? So it's been a challenge for me. It's a big challenge for our team to do it in both languages. But I wanted to reach out to those people, both of them. The market, it's big. We can get there. We can do something better every time we're doing something, you know.
Do you think it's a challenge with the readers too? Because you know, I found that, you know, doing the network, when we started the Morales Business Network, and found that it was highly kind of geared toward the Hispanic market, and that's not the vision that I had for it. You know, the vision I had for it is that we connect with different people of different platforms, because we all connect with emotions. You know, you love just as much as I love. You have felt pain just as much as I felt pain. You know, and if you lose a loved one, it's just as significant as if you lose a dog. You know, it's that same feeling. You know, and that emotions just connect us all. You know, and so again, going back to the question, do you feel like having that dual language is kind of a barrier to some of the readers that are out there wanting to kind of know more about SONAZ and know about the more advertising?
So I'm going to ask you a question now.
Oh, shit.
You know,
we have to go commercial break. Look at that, 15 minutes in.
So before I answer that question, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you comfortable with your first language, English?
English is my first language. And,
right. You grew up with English, correct. Right?
Yeah.
So you're comfortable with it. And I think you want to reach both markets, but you're comfortable with your language, your first language. Yeah. And you understand your niche. Okay, so I grew up in Nogales, Arizona, which 95% of the people there speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me now speaking English everywhere I go. Even though I know English, I grew up in between Tucson and Nogales, and I graduated from high school in Tucson, but I never spoke English before so much like now. So I understand the both size, you know what I mean? Because I grew up in between. But I think it's important for me to reach out the Anglo side.
Yeah.
That niche, it's I think they wanted to reach out to us too. And it's okay for me to reach out to my people too. My side, my Latino side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think coming and doing that, I think you explore kind of that. I can't get away from looking like this, you know. And people automatically assume. I think there's some people that think I'm Filipino. There might be a couple out there.
Or Chinese or something.
But they automatically come with their assumptions and judgments kind of based on the way I look. And that's not so much the case. Even though I grew up in Douglas in this environment where there was all Spanish speakers and all these things, people come in with their prejudices and their ideas of things.
And it's the same, right? It's 90 or 80% of the people there speak more Spanish than English, right?
Yeah.
You're the fewest.
Yeah, I don't.
One of the few I know.
I barely know a lick of Spanish.
My coconut friend.
But as you're hanging on, we're here with Gaby Lopez of SONAZ magazine, as well as Gaby Chaidez of Desodia and RCO Network. So if you want to hold on, if you like what you're seeing, go and leave those comments or questions in there. We're going to get to a commercial break, and then we'll come back and ask more questions from Gaby 1 and Gaby 2. Why not? So hang on there, and we'll see you back on the other side.
I'm a perfectionist that understands that there's no such thing as perfection. I was, as an entrepreneur, sitting alone in an office. I was the owner, the managing partner, but who do I talk to? How do I find out that other people are really in the same boat? Let me create what I wanted, because that's what others are apparently going to want to. When you're doing business, it has to have a purpose. One of those purposes has to be fulfillment. How is what I'm doing affecting people? Here we are, a networking group where everybody wants to get together. It's why we network. We want to learn more. We want to make connections. Hi, my name's Dan Kite, and I'm the CEO of Workuity. And this is our CEO Network.
And we're back here. Thank you, Dan Kite, for being a sponsor at Workuity. Workuity is like a home away from home for us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here in our studio and providing us, like I said, a home. So if you're watching us again, if you want to leave questions or comments about SONAZ Magazine, Gaby Lopez, or even social media, Gaby Chaidez is here in person. Can you believe that?
For the second time.
Yeah, look at that. She is right there. There's Gaby 1, Gaby 2. You're right there. But we're talking about SONAZ and the magazine work. But I think the highlight, the thing we talked about right into the break, was kind of like that bridge between the Hispanic and the I guess white or Anglo market. Right? I think there are markets trying to tap into the Hispanic market, and there are certain segments of the Hispanic market that are trying to get out of that. I mean, I feel like I am. I feel like I don't want to be categorized in that way, because I am connected to the culture. But at the same time, I don't feel that connection, especially when somebody comes up and says, "Hey, Robert, ándale, and I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. Because I don't speak the language. And I pick up a little bit. I got the hola and I got the Robert, but I don't.
Café, frijoles.
Okay, I got those two. Otro burrito, please.
And all the bad words, too.
The naughty words in there.
Yeah.
But I think there is a distinction there. I think some Hispanics, and I do agree that there are certain people that are afraid of other cultures, and they don't want to branch out, and they just feel comfortable, and they just settle into that little cultural niche. Hi, Claire.
Robert, you're making.
We're going to go there. I mean, it's part of the reality of things. You know what I mean? And it's something we both face.
I have met a lot of people that lives in certain places from town. This wonderful town, East Valley. I love to be here in Phoenix. I'm very blessed to be here. But so a lot of people don't connect to, let's say, Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Or all the way north.
But there's posers out there that try to.
They not even know what we have here.
Yeah.
Or like people here, maybe they don't connect to the other side, maybe. And I don't want to
Categorize.
Yeah, I don't want to do that too. But just
I think
there's more there. You can learn how to cope with other people. You can learn how to be yourself, and maybe you have your broken English, but you can make it there. You're gonna be surprised when you see a lot of people on the side of town that they're like you, and they're trying to reach out to this market too. You know what I mean?
I will say that I've come across situations where I felt inadequate. You know, coming from a small town and coming into like a bigger city like Phoenix. I came from Douglas, you know.
Yeah, that's
Arizona.
small town.
You know, and
Let's say Nogales.
I mean,
let's put it that way.
I mean, you were important. I remember in high school you were important if you had a new car or even a car phone. It was like, so people hang on to these things that they amplify and they want to feel significance. And when you come to a big city like this, as a Latino or somebody from a small town, where you see a poor environment or a poor culture, at least that mindset. When you see people of a different culture that are successful, or at least seemingly successful, it's like you feel intimidated by the success. Not so much the color, I don't think, you know, because I even feel that way with other people in the Latino market too. You know, I don't have the business suits, and I don't really feel comfortable in the business suits. I actually feel comfortable in a T-shirt. You know, if I had the choice, I'd wear my Yoda shirt. And so many, I see so many Hispanics that want to aspire to that, but then they pull themselves back and they go back to their comfort zone because that's where their mindset is.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. There's more than ranch market. There's more to explore. Yeah. Go to AJ's one day.
It's expensive shit at AJ's,
and
by the way.
And you know what? For Anglo, too, go to ranch market. Eat our food, too.
Yeah.
You know, for both sides. So what I'm trying to do with SONAZ is connect these two, be in the bridge of these two cities or communities, Sonora and Arizona. What's going on with those people with different type of mentality? We can connect that.
Yeah, I just don't know why there's so much fear of that. And like I said, I don't think it's so much, and Gabby can feel it, and it looks like she wants to say something.
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know why there's so much fear and intimidation regarding success.
She grew up in Nogales, too.
I grew up on Nogales. I actually was raised in a little town away from Nogales, which is called Magdalena. And I had to learn the language as well, and I didn't start speaking English until I was 20-some years. I'm not going to say my age, but it's a lot of times the reason to answer your question about a lot of people just want to get there, but then it feels like they back up for him. It's because it is intimidating sometimes to take that risk of saying, if she can do it, I can do it. And we didn't grow up with that mentality. It takes, for those people like you, Gabby, and other people that I've known in the community that actually are the bridge between the two different communities, I really respect the work because it takes a lot from someone that has never been able to, who was never educated to be able to do more and want more. To get there, I just think that we definitely have to get a lot of credit for those that actually are doing it right now. So congratulations, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah.
I think it's about beliefs, how we grow up. That's what I was asking you. You grew up in a small town too, but you grew up with English side, you know, speaking in English instead of Spanish all the time.
Yeah.
So it's totally different, and you not even connect to Mexico and have your flag from Mexico.
No.
And I'm a Mexican because you're not.
No, I'm not.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? Because I feel that way. I grew up at the age of 13. I moved to Tucson. Then I went back to Nogales, Arizona. And then I never crossed the line for many, many years because my mom was here. So I never grew up with like my But I love Mexico. I love to eat tacos, and I love to eat salsa and frijoles.
The hygiene standards in Mexico are
You
questionable,
know what I
though, I
mean?
will say. I mean,
But we have to connect in both sides.
yeah,
And we have a lot of Latinos, which is totally different. Not only Mexicans, we have Venezuelans,
Puerto Rico,
yeah,
Salvadoreños,
Cubans, which we have to cope
I-
with those mentality too.
I know, and I will say I'm at fault too because I categorize everybody as Mexican, but
No.
No Trump.
and I think I can get away with
No
it.
Trump. We're not all Mexicans.
Pero ¿qué te pasa, chico? También hay venezolanos.
But I think I can get away with it because part of me is still Mexican.
Colombianos, Latinos.
But it goes back to like I give the story of my dad, for instance, and I think a lot of the cultural conflict came out of the 50s and 60s, where somebody like my dad and Richie Valens is a good example of that. His real name is Richie Valenzuela, but because of the marketing and the concern about his culture was an issue in that time period, they changed his name to Valens as a little bit more Americanized. And my dad fell into that, and his birth name is Enrique. But when he changed his name, he changed it to Henry sometime after 18. And I don't know if that was that dissociation from the Mexican culture, because he looked like me, so he couldn't escape that. But he could change his name and feel a little bit better. And he married, my mom, who grew up with an Irish man. My step grandfather was Irish, and so I think he liked that culture, that separation from who he was. And I don't understand that part of it. But in a way, that kind of gave me some reflection and perspective on both sides of it. And I don't feel like I'm a part of anything. I feel like I'm very unique. So that's why I created the show, and we're here. I'm on an island called We're Cute.
It's like me, Robert.
Yeah.
I really
Do you feel
connect. I feel I can feel the feelings or the people who struggle to come here and cross the line over the desert, and a lot of struggle to get here.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I feel that. And pain for them, but I don't connect with them because I grew up between two Nogales, and I crossed the border with my papers, and I don't have this story. This type of story. And Gaby too. We grew up having passports or residency or U.S. citizen. We became U.S. citizen. That's how it is, and it doesn't matter. You know what it matters? Go there. You're here. Learn English. Be better. You can go to a different niche and find yourself there. Maybe it's a lot of opportunities there too, as a business owner.
And I think that really regards, and I think Gabby's going to chime in, but I think it really regards your vision and where you want to be. Do you want to experience personal growth? Do you want to create something of yourself and feel your own significance instead of relying on somebody else? And in that development, you kind of find yourself. And right now, I think from what I'm seeing, you're finding yourself in between these two cultures, and you're trying to highlight that in this magazine, which you're doing very successfully. So again, SONAZ magazine. I'll put up the Facebook. But Gaby wants to say something. I know. She's ready. She's on the edge of her seat.
Now she's like
stepping out.
No, I just wanted to add it's a message for everyone who's out there listening. Just expand yourself. Don't close the doors to yourself. If you're an English speaker, have the open mind of being able to do something in a different language, because just don't think about, just imagine the revenue that you're going to have if you have a business just by learning a different language. It doesn't have to be Spanish. It could be Chinese. It could be Russian, whatever you want to feel more comfortable with. But be open-minded and give others an opportunity to expand as well, because there's a lot of people like us that are super hungry to continue to grow and expand in this country of beautiful that has so many opportunities for everybody.
And how are you so afraid to talk? Look how articulated she is.
Right?
Where the
She
hell
has
did
a lot of experience.
where did this Gaby come out of?
Right? Because we're with friends.
So I'm here with
Somos barrio. Right?
So I'm here with Gaby Chaydez and Gaby Lopez from SONAZ Magazine. I'm going to highlight, if you go to Facebook right now, you can log on to SONAZ Magazine and hit the like button because, they appreciate the support. Gaby number 2 is here to highlight that. So if you want to log on there and have a little bit more experience and explore a little bit more what SONAZ has to offer, this is their magazine. I know I should have brought my copy and I didn't. I screwed up, but I'm learning. So go to SONAZ Mag on Facebook. But we're at the end of the show. So is there any last words or anything you want to highlight or at least say before you go, Miss Lopez?
Keep going. Go everywhere. Meet people. Don't be afraid. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. You cry a lot when you're doing something on your own. Yeah. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Once you get you're there, you're gonna be very happy to embrace.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Robert. Thank you for letting me be in here. Thank you, Gaby. Point one.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone, to connect.
I love the moments, and there's so many moments that happen in this room, and I'm glad we're able to highlight that with Miss Lopez today, and so much of relationships and so much of what we do is to have those moments together, to share those stories. So keep that in mind as you're connecting and relating to people. Gaby, did you want to say something before we left?
Thank you for being here, Gaby. Thank you for accepting. I know it was a challenge for you.
She was nervous.
I always get nervous.
Everybody was so nervous. I don't know what's so nervous about being live on a podcast in front of millions of people. I don't know.
You're used to it. I'm not. So, but thank you. Thank you for taking the risk.
I'm gonna
with
come
us.
back soon.
Yay!
We're going to finish our discussion about Nogales, Mexicans, and Colombians, and all the other Ians that are out there.
We should do something about what we eat in Nogales.
What do you eat in Nogales?
Places. There's
Burritos?
no.
Frijoles? Tacos, enchiladas?
Tacos de cabeza. Nogales. Best tacos ever.
Best tacos ever.
Tacos de cabeza y tacos de perro.
Tacos de perro? What? Really?
Tacos de perro.
I'm not going to Nogales anytime soon.
Listen to me. Gaby, have you heard about tacos de perro? Nogales at the
For those people that don't know Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dog
We
taco.
have to do second time.
I'm retiring being Mexican, so if there's any culture that you want me to be, I'm not doing perro tacos. I don't even care.
Tacos,
Whatever.
looks like weird. It's so good, Robert. I
Oh, my
promise.
So with that said, we're going to end it on there. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Rob Morales, our CEO Network, Gaby Chaydez from Desodia, and our CEO Network, Miss Gaby Lopez, SONAZ Magazine.
you.
Go to Facebook, SONAZ Mag. It's that easy, SONAZ Mag, Facebook. So I'll catch you guys. We'll be back for another episode, hopefully soon. Maybe?
Yes.
Every Thursday? Or most Thursdays. Who
We'll
knows?
be back. We'll be back soon.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you.